In example 5, I'm asked to write an equation in slope-intercept form that represents the values in the table. And we're given a table of values of x and y values. So what we're going to do here is that we have to know that in order to write an equation in slope-intercept form, it has to follow the format of y equals mx plus b. And then I need to know what my m is, which is my slope. And then I need to know what my b is, which is going to be my y-intercept, in order to write that equation. So the first thing I'm going to do in this particular problem is I'm going to find out what the slope is. And I'm going to use a different variation of the slope formula. I'm going to use the variation that says m is equal to the change in y over the change in x. And so if I find the change in y between any 2 points and the change in x between those same 2 points, and place them in that ratio, then I'm going to be able to find out what my slope is. So what I'm going to look at first here is I'm going to look at the 2 points 1, 9 and 5, 17. So the first thing I ask myself is, how did this 9 change into a 17? Well, in order from 9 to change into 17, we had to add 8 to that 9. That is going to be my change in y. Then I'm going to do the same thing with my x. So I have to ask myself, how did this 1 change into a 5? So in order for that 1 to change into 5, we had to add 4 to that 1, which is going to be my change in x. Now, my change in y over my change in x. The change in y is going to be a positive 8. The change in x was a positive 4. So that means that we're going to take 8 divided by 4, and we're going to get a slope of 2. So we've already found our slope. Now, the next thing we need to solve for is we need to solve for what the y-intercept is. So what I can do is I can use my equation y equals mx plus b, and I can plug in my slope of 2 along with one of these points, or one of these ordered pairs from this table of values, in order to solve for b. Now, I would highly recommend using the smaller values, x equals 1 and y equals 9, in order to do that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replace my y with 9. I'm going to set that equal to my slope m, which is 2, times my x, which is 1, plus b. Then I can go through and simplify this down to 9 equals 2 times 1, which is 2, plus b. Now, this equation, what we need to do is we need to solve this equation for b. So I'm trying to isolate this variable here. So in order to isolate that variable on the left-hand side of my equals, I need to get rid of this positive 2. So to get rid of the positive 2, I need to subtract 2. What I do to one side of an equation, I must do to the other side. So 9 minus 2 is going to give me 7. It's going to be equal to, and then the 2's are going to cancel each other out. And then the only thing I have remaining on the right-hand side of my equation is b. Now that I know what my slope is and what my y-intercept is, I can rewrite that equation in slope-intercept form for these table of values. So y is going to be equal to mx plus b. I'm going to replace my m with 2, so that's going to give me y equals 2x plus b, which I'm replacing with 7. So this equation, y equals 2x plus 7, is representing the table of values. It's going to be the equation slope-intercept form that represents this table of values that we're given.